Hey y'all, I'm back. We're about to do this new moon in Gemini tarot reading. So this new moon in Gemini, it begins, what is that, y'all? It begins at, I believe it's 4:30 in the morning. It starts at 4:30 in the morning. Thank y'all for your patience. I am trying to make this adjustment for y'all. Thank you so guys so much. Okay, hi guys. Anurakti Tarot's back with a new moon in Gemini tarot reading. So this reading is going to be interesting because one part is there is going to be an extended version that is only exclusive to Patreon members. And as you can see below in the description box, I put the first 6 questions that will be answered. And then after that, we have another set of 6 questions that we're going to cover in the extended version for my Patreon members only. And that way we can accommodate everybody, but people do get that exclusive treatment. And with that said, we are going to answer some some more difficult questions in the exclusive Patreon reading. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I'm grateful for you being here. You could have been anywhere you wanted to be, but you decided to be here with me. So thank you. I'm grateful. I'm having a great time, and I hope all of you guys are also. I'm just going to pour some tea. Y'all go ahead and get comfortable, and I'm going to get started. Okay, guys. So I'm going to go through the questions we're going to be asking in this reading. Just bringing a lot of clarity to what's going on. So if anybody's not familiar with new moons are is a moon cycle that we experience. And during new moons is when you should plant new seeds regarding what you want to manifest on your journey. Like I said, we have to be mindful because during this new moon, we do have a Mercury retrograde. So I like to say, just for people that are into magic also, it's a good time to edit. I feel like it's a really good time to just edit and get more detailed on whatever you've been manifesting. If you've been manifesting financial stability, then you have to be specific. What does that mean? How much money do you feel like you should earn a month or a week, a day? Also, do you want that money to be earned passively? Do you want to work for that money? How exactly are you expecting for that money to come into your life and stay? Also, that is also an important thing to manifest, for the money to stay or for it to stick. Not just manifest money, because you can manifest money and not stay. So that's also something that's important to be mindful of. When we are practicing magic or just manifesting things, if you're trying to manifest the house, it's really, really good like to keep just looking at houses online and see what you like and what you don't like. It doesn't matter if you don't see the house on the market that you don't like. It will appear because you're manifesting it. So it's important to be mindful of that. Like, oh, I won't find it. Okay, you won't then. You won't find the house you want if you keep saying that. Or whatever it could be, or the relationship, or the work, anything like that. And like I said, it is a really good time to work on, like if you are in a relationship, work on how do I strengthen my relationship with my mate and things like that. Where do you guys what do you feel like you guys need to improve in? And if not, you don't always have to work on relationships. But that was just something to bring in also of people, because I do have people that do ask me those questions also. So continuing on. With this new moon in Gemini, we are going to be encouraged to be more courageous and look at our perspective. Like, have a really open perspective about a new way of thinking, maybe even new ways to create money and stability, new ways, new projects, and maybe new ideas for projects. Also, it's important to be open to new possibilities. Ask a lot of questions right now, and also to be inspired. Have brainstorming conversations. Link up with friends and have coffee and tea and really brainstorm together. See what your friends are doing. Like I said, it's a really interesting time. Like, I know finances is something that can be scary to talk about, but it is important because when we're experiencing Mercury retrograde, everybody's tight. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody's experiencing some sort of needing to reel it in or to maybe take a pause. So it's also important to maybe talk about that because maybe your friend has a strategy that you can implement. So that'll create another source of income for, both of y'all. You know what I mean? If your friend has a way that they do something or have a source of income during Mercury retrograde and you get that from them, you just learned a new way to provide for yourself. So it's also important to have those discussions, with trustworthy people and things like that. And like I said, this can be general conversation. It doesn't have to be really detailed. It could be small things here. So let me see what else also. So this new moon is going to be very mental. So be mindful about getting in your head. It's going to be really, really hard, I feel like, with people with strong Virgo placements, because we are overthinkers and we really, really get in our heads. I do think that Virgos, they do tend to suffer with mood swings, but it's because of their thoughts. I mean, who doesn't? But I do feel like they just a little bit more, because they're always over analyzing and always keeping their head like kind of on the future and things like that. So for me, I think if you have strong Virgo placements, it's okay to just focus on what you've already been focused on and edit. Just stay there, stay in that little nice home base, and just get more detail. What does every day look like for you if you're living your dream life? What does it smell like, taste like? Who would you be hanging with? Would you be hanging with the same people, or how would your interactions with them be different? How would the events be different, you know, if you were living your dream life? Or would they be the same? Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this new moon in Gemini. I really appreciate y'all for your patience. I just want to give people details because people may not know what new moons are. Like I said, that's the first cycle. That's after we've had a full moon. So new moons, again, are times to plant seeds. It is a time to plant new seeds or on a journey, but because of Mercury retrograde, I say it's a time to edit. So those new seeds will be connected to what you've already been manifesting. I don't think it's a good time to manifest something brand new that you've never manifested before, if that makes sense. But if you've been manifesting something for a couple of years, see what I'm saying? I already know. Like, I already know. You know what I'm saying? It's fine, y'all. It's temporary. It's Mercury retrograde. This is a very temporary energy. We won't experience it again until October. That's why it's really good to link up with people and connect, to keep our thoughts positive and stuff like that, or whatever you like to do, whatever works best for you. So the first question we're going to ask, what this new moon has in store for you. So what does this new moon have in store for the collective? Thank you guys for being here. Spirit guides, angels, and ascended masters. What does this new moon have in store for you? Spirit guides, angels, and ascended masters, can we get one card for what this new moon has in store for you? Teamwork, which is really, really important. I'm telling you, this is really awesome. The reason that the Three of Pentacles is important is because with that Mars placement right now, with that Mars and Jupiter, thank God the Mercury grade is ending, because there can be a lot of arguments because of misunderstandings, because we have an expansion in war, and also because that we're in retrograde. But thank God we have this new moon in Gemini, so to kind of bring clarity and kind of end misunderstandings really, really quickly. So what this new moon has in store for you is definitely maybe working in new groups or collaborating in groups deeper. Also, this is also about being very, very detailed on what you do for work or your craft. So you could definitely be perfecting your work and your skill, making straighter lines, making sure the questions are clearer, maybe even budgeting even more strictly also. So this new moon has in store for you is working together in teams. And it can be simply, so all of that will be connected to working with other people, realizing how other people are important in your journey. Like it's important to understand that everybody else has something to offer also and contribute to that, to your stability. So this new moon what this new moon in Gemini has in store for you is work together in teams. So the next card is going to be your energy during this new moon. What is our energy during this new moon? Spirit guides, angels, and ascended masters, and Most High. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The name of this song is Destination Unknown. So even if you don't know, that's fine. Like if you don't know, that's completely fine. Just focus on, okay, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel good and that is healthy for you? And focus on that. Okay, this makes me feel good and it's healthy for me, you know. That's all. You don't have to know where you're going. It's fine. My energy during this new moon. You got the Page of Fire. So your energy is that you're going to be hearing a lot of good news and getting a lot of good news. So this is telling me that the Three of Pentacles is actually working. Like it's working during this period, because the way we're able to deliver good news because good things are happening to us and people around us. So that allows for everybody to succeed. You know, because the Three of Pentacles is, like I said, it is a card of finances also. So this is communicating financial stability, communicating and collaborating and getting new ideas on how to provide wealth for families. That is strongly here, especially with the Sun and Air, because the energy that this new moon can be bring you is that maybe you're really focusing on the Sun at this time. The Page of Fire is a very active Sun. He is a man that of some sort of ethnicity. He doesn't have to be, or he's a fire sign. But like I said, this could be a time that during this new moon, if you're a mother or a father, you could be heavily focused on your son at this time. So that may be the energy that you're in the energy that you're really focused on, but it's also saying that that is your energy. So you could be really connected to your youth. You could be really connected to your like your artsy side. You could definitely probably be doing little small projects around the house, you know, just cute projects, really small stuff. I mean, this imagine me of maybe somebody that makes you know, that makes pieces for their house. Like, this can definitely be somebody that makes their own pieces for their house. Small stuff, small projects. I can't think of anything like decorating vases or creating art, or, you know, even making rugs and bed sheets and stuff like that if you know how to sew. So that is something that you could be in. You're definitely in a strong creative energy, but it's also connected to bringing a lot of positive news. So it's really good news for everybody. If anybody's been expecting some good news, it's on the way, you know. But it's in some sort of way, it's connected to working in a team. So what do you need to be open to during this new moon? Spirit guides, angels, and the masters. What message do we? This wants to come out, y'all. I'm gonna take it. I must look, yeah. So this is finding comfort during this difficult time, because, like I said, during retrograde periods, we tend to mourn deaths and divorces more, because they're things that happened to us in the past, and they have a lot of emotions attached to it. So you need to be open to during this moon is keeping maybe positive vibes, keeping really high vibes, being very positive. This also is like not like maybe not being petty and stuff like that because of past disappointments, or maybe because of past experiences with other people, because you could be meeting new people during this time. And I definitely see that Spirit is bringing people together to work together in teams. And what I'm saying that is the fact that with that expansion of war, we could feel very defensive right now, because everybody's in a little bit of a sensitive state. Everybody's feeling some sort of sensitivity right now. And like I said, because we could be mourning some deaths, we could be mourning decisions we made in the past. Even people could have just got out of relationships and stuff like that. You know, a lot of that could be going on. So you need to be open to having really good days. What will make you have a good day? If it's simply a cup of coffee, if it's a dang on donut, had a donut, you know, whatever it is. If eating makes you do that. If hanging with your pets makes you feel good, do that. If hanging with your children makes you feel good, do that. Whatever. If it's playing a sport, like I saw some people, I ain't never seen this either. I ain't never seen people play football on this street before. They was in the middle of the street playing football, and I had never seen nobody playing football on that street like that before. There was some grown people out there throwing the football around. They was really playing. So this is what I'm saying. You could be getting into with some childlike some things you used to do as a kid. Like, what would you do as a kid? Go roller skating or whatever, you know, playing football at the park, barbecuing, listen to old school music, like really doing whatever you want to do. The 6 of victories at the bottom here. So this can also be, so what do you need to be open to during this moon? This can be getting communication from a child in school that they could be, like really liking their major. This can be somebody that's finding their craft. This is somebody that's young, that's finding their purpose. It's like I said, that can be somebody even in high school. This could be somebody that already knows what they want to do with their life. Like, this could be a child that does have a heavy Virgo placement, or this Virgo placement is really prominent in this child's chart. So this kid could already be like really focused on some sort of hobby, and he can make money from it if he isn't already. This is also saying that this may be what this child does do for work. So, you know, this can be somebody young that, you know, started in a craft at a really young age, and it's allowing them to be very successful while they're young. So let's keep going here. Something that wants to manifest during this new moon. So what is something that wants to manifest during this new moon? What is something that wants to manifest during this new moon? The Mother of Earth. Like I'm saying, financial stability. You know, this is all about retirement. This is having ease in your life. You know, you could be somebody that wants some grandchildren here too. Because the Mother of Earth, I mean, she is a grandmother. So if you're a grandmother, you could be manifesting some children. You could be somebody that's, you know, like you could have had your children late in life. And so, you know, your kids could still be kind of young. But you're somebody that has a stability. Like, if this son was to have a kid or something like that, y'all be able to provide for this kid. So this will be another family. Like I said, when I go back to that reading that I did, How Are My Children? This reminds me of that reading, because it was a reading there, you know, about mom that had a young son or whatever. And he had a child. But this was, what was important about that reading was to make sure that the child stays in the family's custody. So if your son is having a kid, it's make sure that the child stays in the custody of that family, because it's just safer. It's safer for that child, is all this is just saying. It's just safer for that child. And maybe everybody's situation may be different, but that reading just came up for a reason. So that may be for, you know, a couple people. That may not be for everybody. But this Mother Earth is definitely, you're manifesting financial stability. You're also manifesting being taken care of. So You could be communicating that. You could also, this is also saying that, so going back to edit, it's definitely important to look over people, to look at their insurances, and to look at their will and investments right now. It's really important to look at, because this is telling me that you've acquired some sort of new, within the past couple months, you've acquired some new assets. You've had to acquire some new assets, or some sort of financial increase, something like that has happened. And maybe it is being used or whatever. Maybe it is something that you're using, but it's just saying that you also need to make sure that you write those things in the will now. I mean, it doesn't matter if you know you're going to be here to 100, but if something happened to you tomorrow, you know, it's just good to have that in detail. Like, who would you like to have what? Where would you like things to go? Like I said, even if you young, like, make sure you put your siblings on your stuff. Make sure, you know, if something happened to you, your siblings know what they get and stuff like that. Like, that's important. That's all it's saying. So you need to be more open. Something that manifests, that wants to manifest during this time, is living a very comfortable elderly age, and also being a grandmother, and also being able to provide for people around you also, and teach them about that. And this can be, you know, you can provide in a much higher way. You know what I mean? This is providing assets to people. This is what the Mother Earth is. It's providing assets to people, teaching them about assets. I didn't ask the question, but I'm going to look at this card, y'all. Because this deck is like that. The Ace of Earth came out. Yeah, for sure. This wants to go right here by her. You know. And that's fine, you know. And if you're somebody that is young and you looking at victories at the bottom. And if you're somebody young that, you know, you like you got a grandmother or somebody that you really like taking care of, you could take care of like multiple grandmothers, you know, and that's fine. This is just saying that that's also something that you try to manifest, is how to bring more stability to that person, and that's good. Like, this could be what drives you. This could be what drives you. If you're a man, you're driven by making sure that you can provide for your wife or your girlfriend and make sure they live a really, really comfortable life. This is also somebody, you're also manifesting slowing down, you know, not having to commute. This is somebody that doesn't drive a lot. You know, that is somebody that gets up and walks, but they're not, you know, they're not out and running around and being busy. This is somebody that's at home. So you're manifesting being at home. So the next question is, how can I focus my attention to bring my desires into reality? 2 cards fell out, and I'm going to take both of them, y'all. You put the Father of Water, very compassionate and loving being. This is a very, very patient father. You know, this is a father that's very creative in how he handles issues with his children. And the Ten of Swords came out in reverse. I'm going to take it in reverse. I am. That is hard. So this is saying, how can I focus my attention to bring my desires into reality? Kind of being compassionate about betraying and backstabbing energy. So how can I focus my attention? You can focus your attention to bring your desires into reality by having compassion for when you see the opposite of what you want. Because if you're seeing the opposite of what you want, that means that what you want exists. That's all I got to say. Because it's always an opposite and equal. So this is, if you're seeing a lot of maybe of what you don't want to what you don't want, then to focus on, okay, that's a sign that I'm going to be seeing what I want then. Also, that is what that's saying. With that, because the Ten of Swords in reverse is really hard. That's really hard energy. I'm gonna be honest with you. So this is saying, if you are having to be resourceful at this time, that's good. Like, that's fine. And you're being successful in that also. So you can focus your attention on being more emotionally grounded, like working through negative emotions. This is definitely saying water is a good way to manifest. So you can write on water or talk to your water, like write a very detailed message on your water. It could be an affirmation, I am happy, or it can be something that you're manifesting. I'm so grateful that I've created another form of passive income that makes me, and I like to be detailed with those. I'm very detailed with those. So be as detailed as you want with the amount. And I always like to say, okay, for how long? Do you want to make that for the rest of your life? Or do you know, so it's important to add that also into your manifestations and things that you write down. So it's okay if your manifestations get a little long, like when you're writing them down. That's fine. Because this can be doing a lot of writing too. So you could focus your attention to bring your desires into reality by being more loving, being more compassionate, also being more loving and more compassionate towards seeing the opposite of what you want or what you want to experience, because it's just giving you emotional wisdom. That's all it is. So this is just saying, make sure to focus on being emotionally wise, making sure you take actions that are unifying. Even if people are on 2 different sides and stuff like that, how can we unify? You know, this is like going out to eat with enemies. This is definitely going out to eat with enemies and stuff like that. You know, certain ones, and then ones you want to keep at bay. You know, if they just did something recently, you just keep them at bay kindly. But you just stand your ground, because this is definitely, this people are, whoever that is, they're aware of what they did, so it's fine. It's a good way to handle it. It shows emotional maturity. So what have you released? Let's see. What have you released? Let's see. Spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, and most high. What have you released? The Hierophant. So this can be commitments. I like this too, because what this means, what have you released? This means you've released yourself to some sort of soul school or some sort of wisdom. And this is, like I said, this could be learning a lot about, like, I'm going back to astrotheology. This is reminding me of, that Aries reading. This is a Taurus card though also. But that Taurus reading will remind me of somebody that's already in this, that's already been living kind of this life for a while with this energy. So this is just saying that what have you released? You released yourself to higher levels of commitment. You've also released yourself to some sort of knowledge. Look at that. As soon as I was at the bottom of the deck, y'all. So this is, like I said, this is somebody that's becoming more consciously aware of the world. This is somebody that's learning about universal truths. This is definitely somebody that is omnious, that believes there's truth in all religions, and that they're talking about the same thing, which is the stars, the placement of the stars and the planets. So fate is the placement of the planets. Like, we don't have no control over the placements of the planet. So that's how it affects our reality. That's what we don't have control over. But we do have control over, what we focus on, and our thoughts, our actions that we take, and we can do that. Like I said, that's where magic comes into play and things like that. Or even just if you're somebody manifesting your emotions or visualizations, whatever it is. Pillars of Creation is the name of this song. Pillars of Creation. So however you create in your reality to get what you want, it's just saying that you're having a more, you have released to some higher level knowledge that is bringing you more clarity to what is occurring in your life. And a lot of times people that aren't familiar with planetary placements maybe feeling like they're going through something that nobody else is going through. But usually what you're going through, everybody else is going through, because nobody has control over the planetary placements. Nobody does. So that affects everybody. So that's why it's also realizing how deeply connected we are. That's why it's okay if you see something that is opposing, something that is opposite to what you want to experience. Like, this is just saying somebody could live a different life than you. And that's fine. But you and this person are still connected, because y'all both are going through Mercury retrograde right now, and y'all are having to revisit, old toxic feelings, or this can't even be dreaming about like ex-spouses and husbands and stuff like that. This can be dreaming about people like that. This can be, maybe re-experiencing those emotions that you felt when you went through really hard changes and cleansing them out. And that's good. You're becoming emotionally strong and wise. So you are being released to this higher level of knowledge and higher levels of commitment. You could be getting some sort of contracts also. So this emotional healing and this stability that you're manifesting can be coming strictly through contracts. And these are long-term contracts. These are contracts that are 70, 20 years. This is years, at least, 10 years, things like that. So these are very solid commitments. This is higher level knowledge. You could be somebody that's returning to school, or you could be somebody that is in school also. So you could definitely be really releasing yourself to that new life. Like, okay, if this is my major and this is what I'm going to be focusing on, then how will my everyday life be once I have received this? But it is still okay to understand and be joyful and be proud of where you are. Because I did write down on here, celebrate the children, and simply be proud of wherever they are also. So yeah, let's keep going here, y'all. That's where, if you want to watch the rest of this reading, it will be available on Patreon. So you have to go ahead and check out Patreon to get the rest of this reading. The rest of this reading, the other questions that we're going to answer are: what is emerging within me? How can I bring my goals and intentions to fruition? What additional resources are available to me as I manifest my goal? What actions can I take to find alignment? What should I focus on this cycle, and how can I grow? So that's the 6 remaining cards in this layout, and we'll pull some oracle cards. Before we get out of here, I am going to pull, I will pull a couple of these because we did get through this at a really good time. So I'm going to pull a couple oracle for y'all, and then I'm going to pull y'all a prayer card, and I'm going to pull y'all one moonology card. So you pulled intention. So this is just being mindful of what your intentions are. Why are you manifesting what you want to manifest? What's the purpose? Be very, very specific also. Like I always say, make sure that that my this is really hard energy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is hard energy we are in, and that is fine. We got this. We got this. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, also just being mindful of your intentions. So I always, when you're attracting anything, I have to go back to finances again. So when you are attracting finances, it's just saying to make sure you say whatever you say, whatever's at the end of whatever you're manifesting, make sure you say with no harm done to myself, or with no harm done to none, or myself, because we don't want to cause harm upon people either. So be mindful of, like, you know, that's why it's important to be grateful for, you know, if you do have physical capabilities and strength and stuff like that, like you have mobility, you have all your limbs, so make sure, you know, you're grateful for those things too also, because you do have to be careful with manifestations also. Like, just being mindful of what you're saying, and it all comes from intention. So just being mindful of why we want things. You know, why do you want to be grandmother? Why is that important to you? And things like that. How would it affect the, you know, the person that would have to maybe give that energy to you? Also, you could be somebody that's a little older that's wanting to have a surrogate also. I do see the presence of that here also. So you could definitely be somebody that's you know, you could be looking at adopting. You could definitely be talking to a surrogacy. I'm only gonna put one card, y'all. You could definitely be talking to a I don't know, a place that, you know, does have surrogates, and you could be you know, going to the doctor visits. You could be somebody that's having to take shots, hormones, or something like that also. New moon energy. Magnificence is here. Like I said, magnificence always reminds me of a masterpiece. And a masterpiece usually is something with a lot of detail. So this is just telling me that you being very detailed in your manifestations with your intentions is going to create you know, something that you're very, very happy with. Because Birds of Paradise is all about being very, very creative also. So it's also saying to be open to creative ways that this stability can come in that you never imagined. And also allowing children and everybody else to be creative around you. The light after the darkness. It's over with next week, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's over with next week. The underworld is at the bottom. The sacredness of pausing is that card. And then I'm gonna pull a Moonology card, and then I'm gonna continue on. Like I said, if you want to get the rest of this reading, it will be exclusive on Patreon, so you can go check out Patreon. The link is in the bio. New moon in Gemini. Be bold and make the first move. So like I said, this can be simply like when you're getting invited out or invitations. This is a cardinal moon. This is what this says on there. So that's the first signs also. So this can be, you could just be starting to manifest something, or that what you've been manifesting for a long time is just starting to present itself. So you could just starting to see, like, you know, when you plant something in the garden and you just start to see it pop through the soil, that could be what's occurring here. Be bold to make the first move. It's just saying don't be afraid to take action. Also be bold and ask the universe for it and write it down. Okay, if you're saying you want something, really focus on it and write it down. And what does that look like? How does your life look like every day? If that is what you're feeling connected to manifest, how would it look in your everyday life? So you put observe here. Like I said, if you're experiencing opposing things that you don't want to experience in your reality, like people that just live different lives than you, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just telling you what you want exists. So this is just saying be observant of those and really, you know, get to understand why people do certain things, you know, and it's paying attention to people. And I'm going to pull y'all a prayer card too. So the prayer card you got was solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. Like I was saying, that takes me back to the beginning of the reading when I was saying really working on teams and how working together in teams is going to bring a lot of stability. It's going to bring a lot of peace, but it's also going to help you to manifest these goals. Manifest whatever, these long-term, because these are people that are manifesting something long-term. Whoever you are, like you're manifesting something that you want to stick around for a long time into old age. So this is just saying to be mindful of those relationships that we are, these new experiences, these new relationships we're experiencing, because they do have a lot of they're a part of us manifesting this stability. That's all I'm saying. So thank you guys so much for checking in. If you want to if you would like to continue to watch this, then feel free to check out the Patreon. This will be available exclusively to my Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for checking in. I'm super, super grateful. Many blessings to you and yours. You could have been anywhere you wanted to be, but you decided to be here with me. So thank you to all my new YouTube followers. I really love y'all and I appreciate all y'all support. I'm having a really great time. So like I said, continue to check in, send requests, check out the IG and vote. Again, you want to check out the rest of this reading, we're going to head over to Patreon and have a really good time. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Many blessings to you and yours.